A company has a maximum advertising budget of 100,000 for the year. So 100,000 is the max. It will be using two different platforms of advertising, online ads and billboards. Each online ad purchase will cost 15,000 for the year, and each billboard will cost 10,000 for the year. The company will not spend more than 60% of its overall budget on one of the platforms. Given that X represents the number of online ads purchased and Y represents the number of billboards purchased, create a system of inequalities modeling the scenario. Alright, so they gave us what they wanted. So the budget, let's start breaking it down. The budget is 100,000. I'll be using two different platforms of advertising, online ads, so we'll just call that online. This is online. And billboards. We'll just call Bill. I'll finish it. Each online purchase will cost $15,000. So this will cost $15,000. And each billboard will cost $10,000. The company will not spend more than 60% of its overall budget on the platforms. Okay, so 60% max per platform. Okay, the company will not spend, okay, given that X represents the number of online ads, so we got the, let me just highlight, 15,000 right here, 10,000 right here, 60% overall budget. Given that X represents the number of online ads purchased, so online deals with X, and Y represents the number of billboards. Okay. So they want us to select all that apply here. So let's set up some type of inequality. So what we have here is online's X. So it's going to be 15,000 X, because you can see X represents the number of online ads, added to $10,000 times Y less than or equal to 100,000. We don't have to put the dollar signs, they'll have them. Okay, next. We need to figure out, so that looks like 15, it looks like this one. That means this one's out. Alright, so now we need to figure out what's the max amount of ads they can buy for both X and Y. So they only want us spending 60% of our max money, our budget, on one platform. So the way we do this is first we need to figure out what is 60% of 100,000. So what we do is 100,000. We're going to do a little multiplication. And we're going to times it by 60. And remember, 60% is the same as saying 0.60. We can't use that percent, so we're multiplying this by 0.60. And that'll come back at the end, okay? So we get our 0 placement. We know everything's going to be 0 at the top, so we just leave that. We put our placeholder 0. And we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 6. Since we have two decimals, 1, 2, we start from the end and put two decimals. 1, 2. So our max that we can spend is 60,000. So the max we can spend per platform is 60,000. As you can see, we move the decimal from the end to the over. 1, 2 to to represent 60,000. So how do we figure out the maximum budget? Well, now we do a little division. Let's do online first. Online would be, how many times does 15,000 go into 60? So we're dividing here, but don't let that scare you. Don't let that scare you, because you can see, since they both have zeros, you can just do this crossing out method. 1, 2, 3. And then how many times does 15 go into 60? Well, you can show it the proper way. Well, you could do this. 2 times 2, which is 4, times 3, times 5. Because 60, the prime factorization of 60 could be 2, 30, 2, 15, and then 3, 5, which makes up 2, 2, 3, 5. Just move this out for now, since I know what I'm talking about. So from here, that's our top number, because the zeros just canceled out like so. And then 15, if we do prime factorization of 15, we get 3 and 5. And just like the zeros, we can cross these out. We get 4. So how many online, what's the max amount of ads we could buy? We could buy is 4 online. Let's move it back up. So the max we can buy is 4 online, but I want to move it back up so we can see it. I can just do it on this side, okay? So what does this answer actually mean? So the max, if we were to do a compound inequality, well, the least amount we could buy is 0, which is less than or equal to x, our online, which is less than or equal to 4 ads. That's the max based off the 60% given by the company. This is the max we can buy from online. So that would be 4 here. And this we can be crossed out. Let's try it again for the other one, and then we'll be completely finished. I'm going to move this up a little bit so I can kind of see it. Good, that's perfect. Yeah, I guess that's good. All right, our next thing they want us to do, we need to figure out what's the max using this for 10,000. So now we're focused on the realm of billboards. So billboards, we would have, how many times does 10,000 go into it? Because this represents the billboard. And the 60,000 represents the 60,000 from the 60%. So if we're dividing these, I'll just rewrite this because I did subtraction almost. We can do the cool 10 trick, 2, 3. So since they have nothing but zeros, we can cross out the zeros in a row because that's how our number system works. 1, 2, 3, 4. And all we're left with is 6 over 1. So the max for billboards would be 0 is less than x, which is less than 6. 6 being the maximum, 0 being the minimum, and that's going to be our budget for this company. So if we look at the y, or it's not x, y for billboard. As you can see, y, billboard, not x. So if we look at this, not 4, but this right here. Okay? And that's how we can kind of go through a problem like this, all right?